So we're back then with another video for Marvel's Avengers. In this video we're going to have a chat about the potential abilities for Black Panther. Black Panther's a character that has featured on the thumbnail of certain creators' videos for quite some time, but the actual videos have been really low on specific details in regards to him. Super rebel. But what we'll actually do in this video is we'll be looking at a data mine for the game. When the game was out in beta on PC way back in September, there was a huge data mine that was released, and this was actually taken down because there was so much within it. I did manage to get access to it at the time. It had the abilities for She-Hulk, the abilities for Kate Bishop, and it had a ton of abilities for Black Panther as well. Now on top of that, a recent video I done was the Hank Pym summon. This was actually a video I done way back on September as well, in regards to this being an exotic artifact, because it was mentioned in this data mine. So you can check back, but you can see the thumbnail for the video here, but you can check back if you want to see if I did indeed do this. So the data mine is legitimate. It's about 5 or 6 pages in regards to Black Panther. It talks about his intrinsic, it talks about his heroics, and it gives you a good bit of idea of how his attacks may work as well. So figuring he's coming out sometime in the future, I'm not going to guess when, but since he's been announced and he's coming out in the future, it would be a good time to actually revisit that. So let's jump in now. Before we do that, actually, if you are enjoying the content, take the time to hit the like, share and subscribe button. But let's check all this out. For anyone that isn't familiar with data mines, it's not the most sexy of things, unfortunately. It's just really lines of codes and references to different abilities, but it does give a whole lot away. So you can see whenever there's a mention of Black Panther over these next few pages, I highlight it in yellow, and then we've got the accompanying text to read out as well. So this is a list of different abilities here. Once again, I'll mention the data mine was back in September, so it very well could change. It could change a fair amount, but again, we just got the Hank Pym summon that I talked about 6 months ago. But let's break this down now. So looking at the abilities, you've got Claw Slash, you've got Cross Slash, Dagger Barrage, so that's pretty awesome. And then you've got Energy Daggers, Energy Pounce, Energy Smash, Kinetic Jump, Kinetic Leech. I imagine they'll probably be tied to his intrinsic attack. We've got more details on them later. You've got Lunging Slash, which could be a bit like Hawkeye when he can close in with his grappling hook, I imagine. Primal Reflexes, not quite sure what that one could be. And then we've got Pribble, Spin Kick, Spinning Slash, and also Wall Climb as well there. On this next page here, there's just one mention of Black Panther, but you can see it's in regards to his intrinsic meter, and it says that it's Kinetic Blast. And again, I'm pretty sure later on we have more references to the actual intrinsic meter. Quite funnily as well here, if you look down the bottom, you can see it mentions Kate Bishop with the Gravity Arrow, which is a singularity, and the Hollow Drone, which would be her support heroic as well there. So it's funny to see these abilities listed. Yes, they've got different names, but the actual rough idea of what the ability would be was listed way out back in September. This page here, it's quite hard to tell what this could be referring to, but the next one will be a lot more specific, and it'll be in regards to his heroics. But in this one here, you can see there's mention of Heroic Offense, Intrinsic Cooldown, and then you've got 4 tiers for Kinetic Warhead, whatever that would be. It sounds pretty amazing. And then you've got, I'm not quite sure when it says Ult Level 20, whatever that may mean, and then Ultimate on as well, possibly a reference to his Heroic Ultimate move. But the next page does have a lot more. This next page here, then you've got the Assault Heroic and also the Ultimate Heroic as well, and it really does break it down in detail. But the fact it breaks it down in detail, I'm going to mention it once again as a disclaimer. This is like 6 months old. It very well could change, but it gives us a rough idea of the direction they're going in. So if we look at the Heroic Assault first, when you have your actual heroics, generally you get 2 perks that are filled out, and you get them regardless of what you actually choose. So in this instance, it's called Strength Kings and also Animal Cry. So that's L1 and L2. And then you can see you've got S1, you get 3 instances of that, and then you get 3 instances of S2 on the next 3 lines. So that will be your 3 perks on the left, and you choose one of them, and your 3 perks on the right, and you choose one of them. So firstly, you've got Child of Ra, Fury of Bast, and Kinetic Warhead. You would be choosing one of them. And then on the right hand side, you have Panther Focus, Pathfinder, or Prey. Looking at the Heroic Ultimate here, so we've got L0, L1 and L2. That will be 3 that I'd imagine that you will get. You won't have to choose them. So it's Power of Bast, Animal Fury and Feral Onslaught, and then you've got your options you need to choose. So it's Immunity, Kinetic Resonator, Stalk and Prey, And then on the right hand side you've got Golden Age, Kinetic Amplifier and Predator. So that's a fair amount you've got there. To keep myself safe, I'm going to say once again, it very well could change, but it's still a fair amount this actually showed. So we have one final page here from the September datamine, and then what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at some more recent datamines and try and compare them, see if there's similarities there. But this page here is making reference to Hunter's Craft, Mortal Cloak, Predator Strike, Shadow Tactics, Sky Hunter, Strength of Kings, and then you've got Air Kick, and you've got 2 instances of that. So from the abilities we've seen so far here in the datamine, you've got your claws, you've got your daggers, you've got your potential kinetic intrinsic attack as well, and you've got them sounding a bit like a stealthy type character as well, like mention of Predator Strike and so on. So that's how you would imagine them to actually play. But let's look at the more recent information we had. So this came from EddieZ115 on Twitter, and everything I've seen so far that he's actually released, it looks to be all legitimate here, so quite a bit different from what we've seen before. You get reference to a lot more weapons, so I'm wondering if way back in September weapons weren't really part of this kit, equipable weapons at least, but it looks like they may now be, because you've got your dagger, we have talked about that already, but you've got a spear that's mentioned here, you've got the beads. I don't know if that would potentially be, I think, been a while since I watched the Black Panther movie, but I'm pretty sure I can remember him throwing down these little beads that would explode, so I don't know if it's something like that. Then it says Panther Override, Panther Spear Marker, you've got mention to Fury of Bast, you'll see a lot of mention to Bast when you're talking about Black Panther. You have Spear Explosion, and then we've got reference to the kinetic meter, so that was something we've seen back in the September datamine, so I'm pretty certain the way his intrinsic attack is going to work is potentially you're going to absorb energy and then you can maybe blast it back out again. So that's everything specific really we've managed to find to date in regards to his abilities, and I'm going to keep myself safe and say it once again, yes, very much subject to change because it is datamine, but so much that's been included in datamines has been incredibly accurate. You've seen earlier on when we were looking at Kate's abilities there, and it was essentially letting us know about the support heroic and also the singularity, which is the assault heroic as well. So let me know in the comments below what you think of everything we've covered today. Like, from the description of the abilities, would that get you excited for Black Panther? Do you like how he sounds? I know he's a fair bit of time off. I'm not going to do another video on him like for quite some time, probably until he comes out, but with him just being announced I figured it was a good time to revisit this. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.